Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning. Wow, look at
Morning.
this. Look at
Hello.
this. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you are all doing very well. Wow, what a lineup we have this morning. This is all a bit interesting and very exciting. So, I am going to start off with our introduction. So, as you all know, I'm Jasmin. I'm a conversation starter at the Yard. And you will see me always doing these tea and toast sessions and all the community work that goes on at the Yard. We're so close now to our doors being open, and something we're going to speak to you about this morning is what the exciting plans are for June as the world is slowly opening up again. Well, at least in the UK we are, which is really good news. So let's see who we've got with us this morning. So I'm joined by the lovely Georgia, who is also a conversation starter at the Yard with me. And then down below, we've got our lovely Laurel, who is a volunteer. Morning, Laurel.
Yes.
Hello. Oh, she is there. I wondered if you've frozen then, Laurel. And then we're joined by Beth, who is our university placement student. Morning, Beth. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. And then last, but by no means least, we are joined by Ronnie, all the way in India. Wow. Good morning,
Hello,
Ronnie.
everybody.
How
Good
are
morning.
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Well, we're so excited to have Ronnie join us today because if any of you guys have been watching and following our teas and toasts over the past few weeks, months, Ronnie is someone who is always online, joining in with the discussion, really getting involved. And actually, last week expressed an interest and said, "Look, I'd love to join you guys." And we were like, "Yes, we'd love to have you." So this is Ronnie's first tea and toast live with us. So he was feeling a bit nervous, but we've told him there's absolutely nothing to be nervous about. This is all just about having a chat, talking about what's going on in the world and, just seeing our different opinions on things. So thank you for joining us, Ronnie. So, Ronnie, just tell everyone. So I know that we had a quick chat before we came online this morning. So you're in India. So whereabouts in India are you?
I'm in the eastern side of India, northeast. I am currently situated in Jalpaiguri, West Bengal, in India.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the weather doing there today?
The weather was really fine in the morning, but now it's a bit cloudy. We had a storm, so it's just rainy, but now the drizzle has
Clearing.
gone out.
Yeah. Well, it
It's
sounds a bit
little
like
bit
here.
cloudy.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like here. Our weather has been horrendous. Can you hear that really? Is that you, Laurel?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's Laurel.
Well, you might have to just mute yourself whilst you're not talking, because we're getting really bad.
There we go.
There we go. Just unmute, Laurel, when you want to talk, because we're just getting some really bad feedback. So yeah, weather here in the UK, Ronnie, it's miserable. We're getting April showers, aren't we, in May, but really thundery, lightning, torrential downpours. And it's miserable.
Yesterday, we had, so it was bright, shining, sun was out, Ronnie, and then about 2 minutes later, it was thundering, it was raining, and then about 10 minutes after that, it was back being sunny again, and then it was thundering again. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, didn't want to do anything. You just don't want to do anything. You just go, don't move.
If you're leaving the house, you
Yeah, of
sort of
course.
need to have. Sorry, go on, Ronnie.
That's been the same situation over here in the morning. I mean, the midday. Now it's like afternoon over here, but in the midday. So the situation, I think, has transferred from India towards the
Yeah.
Oh
west,
no!
from east
You're
to the
giving us.
west. Yeah.
Can you please give us some of
It's
your
gone.
sunshine and not your showers? We need a bit of
Yes,
sun over
yes,
here.
yes. Definitely.
Yeah, we
I'll
don't
just
need any more of
ask
this rain,
I'll just ask Poseidon of the Bay of Bengal to,
please.
pull everything, pull
Yes,
all the
please.
clouds, pull
Oh,
all
thank you,
the
Ronnie.
moistures towards here. You
Exactly
stay
what we'd like
there,
you to do. Yeah,
stay like a calm, cute boy in the seas and not go
yeah,
that side, please.
absolutely. It's like when we're leaving the house in the morning, you need a t-shirt, a raincoat, an umbrella, a sun hat, sunglasses, perhaps a scarf, and you need every single different item of clothing because
Yes.
it can change like that. It's absolutely crazy. And I've just this morning had a look at the forecast for the next week or so, and it's exactly the same. And I'm just thinking, when are we're almost, well, we're mid-May really, aren't we? When is this weather going to get a bit nicer and we can start to feel a bit more summery? Because it's a bit depressing. It's getting on my nerves, to be honest. And at the moment, Ronnie, here in the UK, if you want to meet up with friends or family, or if you want to go to a restaurant or a pub, we have to sit outside because of the COVID restrictions. Now, when these restrictions first came in a few weeks ago, it wasn't so bad because we had a bit of sunny weather, didn't we? Semtex. That's actually Henry, my son.
Yeah.
He's off school today, he's poorly, and now he's watching us on this. So,
Hey, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry and Bianca.
Say anything
Hello.
bad, please.
What?
Don't embarrass me.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. You never know what could come out of his mouth.
Challenge now,
No,
Jasmine.
kids,
No, I know.
kids are the best. They are the heart. They
Yeah.
are the heart of our community. Kids are the best.
Yeah.
Henry, do
Also
everything
very,
you
very
want.
hard work, Ronnie, and they're also very tiring. I don't ever feel like I've got enough sleep.
Yes.
They age
I mean, the
you.
mothers have it. The
Yeah.
mothers have to have the brunt, have to have the
Yes.
brunt of their mischievous misdeeds.
Absolutely. It's
They're
a
giving the
very
breakfast.
rewarding job being a mother, but
Yeah.
it's also very, very hard work.
Yes.
But yeah, as I was saying, so our restrictions at the moment are that we have to sit outside. So this weather that we've been having over the past sort of week, 10 days, it's miserable. I mean, I know lots of places like pubs and restaurants and even cafes have just decided to close because there's just been nobody's really wanting to sit
Yeah.
outside in this weather. It's just been
Same
so
here.
horrendous.
Same here. It's been
But
okay.
Boris made a big announcement on Monday, and our roadmap on the 17th of May is we're sticking to our roadmap and things are opening up again. So from Monday the 17th, we are allowed to meet other people inside. It's either up to 6 people or 2 households. So we can sit inside at the pub, we can go around somebody's house, you can have a sleepover somewhere that isn't home, which is amazing. Now, I wanted to get all of yours opinions because from Monday, we are allowed to hug friends and family. Now, I watched something really interesting on I think it was Loose Women the other morning or the lunchtime, and half of them were really excited about being able to hug again, and a few of them were actually really nervous and said they're not sure if they're ready to hug. So I'm wondering, how are you all feeling about the prospect of hugging next week? Laurel, I'm going to kick off with you because I think I know what your answer is going to be.
Stay away from me. Yeah, I don't like her. The hugging thing ain't bothering me.
No. So you weren't a hugger before COVID, and you're certainly not going to be one after.
No.
That's okay. Beth, what about you?
I think for me, the only people that I'll be hugging are like my grandparents, and I know that for all of them, they've had both of their vaccines now. Obviously, I haven't had mine, but at least there's some protection there.
Georgia, how are you feeling about the hugging situation that is approaching?
Oh, how do I feel? So for me, I'm like a one-arm hugger. I'm not really like in for the whole hug. I'm more like,
One arm.
You're right, mate. Yeah, that's grand. All right, now it's over. Get away from me. So yeah, I think my partner Stephen is probably the only person who I actually two-arm hug. So he gets that, like, he's the only person in the world that I will proper two-arm hug.
Yeah.
So he gets that, and I'm sure if he's listening or watching this, which he probably is, you're welcome.
Amazing. Ronnie, what about you? You know, I'm not sure. I don't think your restrictions in India. Obviously, you're going through a bit of a terrible time over there. But if you were in the UK and from next week you were allowed to hug people, would you feel confident in hugging people?
The concept of hugging, I think it's cute. I absolutely love hugging people, but
yeah,
in the current situation, I am not hugging strangers. Like
Yeah.
if you guys were actually before me,
Would you
I
give us a hug?
yes, I will I will first shake hands. I'll first shake hands, then get to know personally all four of you, even Bianca, although she is not here, she's in the chat, I know that.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna go straight to Stevo, first hug him, then get to know
Oh,
Bianca, then hug her, then all
Okay.
four of you. Come,
Okay, so
big hug.
did you
Big
notice the,
hug, come.
the pecking order there, though? Steve-O
yeah,
and
yeah.
Bianca
Steve,
first,
Bianca, and then
then
us.
us. I know,
Then
honestly. Yeah.
Georgia, because she was the first to open up with one arm.
Oh,
So at
Georgia.
Yeah.
there is something that I feel. So
Yeah.
one arm, yeah. You
Okay,
share
that's
your
cool.
left, you share your right arm. I'm gonna give your my right or left or whatever it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do this, then all the others. Yeah, come.
yeah.
Come up close,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm
Love
three.
that.
I'm number 3. I'm quite happy.
Yeah,
with
you're
that.
number.
I'm right.
Yeah.
You've made it.
And then
You're up there.
Lauren is not that comfortable, so I won't push
She
her.
doesn't want a
Okay,
hug.
I won't push her. Although I am a bigger fan of her, Bianca, Georgia, and Jasmine.
Yes, Ronnie.
I'm a
Honestly,
bigger fan.
we love you, Ronnie.
Big fan.
So me hug him.
Stevie and me love.
Steve-O
Yeah.
and Bianca would
See?
love a great big hug.
Told ya.
Yeah.
Told ya.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being allowed to, if you know what I mean. I don't think I'm initially thinking next week I'm going to run out and go around and hug everyone. I did think it was funny when, I don't know if you guys watched Boris on Monday. I haven't watched one of those 5 o'clock press briefings for ages, but I did watch it on Monday just to see what was going on. And he said, we must hug with caution, which just it sort of made me laugh. We're being told by our Prime Minister how we must hug. I think it's about being sensible, isn't it? My parents have had both their vaccines now, so I know that I can give them a hug. I feel confident, and I think it's thinking about the person you're hugging. It's not necessarily, you might think, or I might think, I really want to hug you. It's whether that, A, for someone like Laurel, they're not comfortable in hugging anyway, but B, how safe it is for that person that you're going to attempt to hug. I think it's really nice. I've heard lots of grandparents saying they literally can't wait to hug their grandchildren. And I think just being able to have a bit of that human contact again, which does really feel that we've missed out on a lot over the past year in this pandemic. And I think children especially, I was watching something yesterday that was saying, children as they learn and they grow, they learn so much through human touch and things like that. And there's going to be a real delay in a lot of children's growth and, sort of learning skills because they've had that lack of touch. So I think it's nice. It makes me feel that we're on the right track. It makes me feel like there is perhaps an end to not COVID, because we now have to learn to live with COVID, don't we? But there is an end to perhaps some of the harsher restrictions that we've lived under for quite a while now.
Sorry, Jasmine. I was just going to say, I feel like we have to be very, very careful about the way that, because young children, as we've just said, like a lot of it is touch, a lot of it is like the physical intimacy and things like that. And I guess it's been even harder for them because now they're going to have to try and transition slowly back into being able to touch and what like mental effect that will have on them. So I think it's always good to check with a child or a young person if they want that like physical contact, because it's all about like consent as well, isn't it?
It works the other way around as well, because children have been told for the past year, you can't hug, you can't touch, you can't do this. After the lockdown that we've just been through in January, February, my daughter, who's 7, she's in year 2 at school, and they had a class like Zoom every day, 10-minute chat. And on the day before they were going back to school, I think it was the Friday before they went back on the Monday, the teacher said, has anyone got any questions? And one of my daughter's little friends put her hand up and she said, are we allowed to hug now on Monday? Can I hug my friends on Monday? And the teacher was like, no, darling, I'm sorry, we're still not allowed to hug. And that really got me, because you just think, you know, children sort of reception year 1, year 2, early years at school, that's what they're all about. Mabel just wants to go around and hug all of her friends and cuddle them and climb on them and jump on them. And they've had to be so separate. I think it's going to take a while for them to integrate that back into their just normal lives, because they've been told they can't for so long. So I think it's going to be completely right what you said, Georgia. You know, it's about the consent. Some people might not feel happy with that. It's about making sure people are comfortable with it. But it's going to be a strange sort of rehabilitation into hugging, so to speak. But I think it's for the greater good. We are on a path on the way out. Sorry, Ronnie, go ahead.
So I was saying that it's been a really long time since all my students, I mean, my students are they are like from 10 years old, they range from 10 years old to say 13 years old. So, you know, they are always boisterous. They always try to do experiment things, and now is their time to improve their cognitive skills. Then all they want to just run out. Of course, they wear their masks and all that, but they want to run about, you know, play outside. And then we just all the adults tell them that, oh no, don't go outside. If you want to play, at least keep a safe distance between yourself. Like if they are playing cricket, if they go outside, and they're kids, you know, so the girls, both the girls and boys, they play together in the playground, so they are wearing their masks. But while playing football, I mean, it's quite a laborious task. So if they put the masks on over the nose, then they are gonna tire out soon.
Quicker.
And what they do, they're gonna pull the masks off, and all the kids don't have sanitizers in their pockets, so they're gonna just play in the dirt. And then since it's raining, I mean, I don't know, football in the rain is like Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve and the Christmas night, like it's like Santa giving you presents. If you tell them, oh, go to the ground, it's raining, go to the ground, take the football, even take the spare one I have in my home, give it to them, and one team becomes two teams, and then three, and they just, you know, it's a massive cuddle. It's a massive cuddle. There is no need for any special hugging day. They will just
they'll just do it. Yeah. Someone scores a goal when they're all on each other, like,
yay, come here, come everyone, let's celebrate. And then they would share some chocolates. They usually have some chocolates. There are some naughty kids in my lane, so they always have some chocolates. I always have to keep my jars of chocolates. I have a shop, so I keep the jars from the outside counter to the inside table, you know. I put it there on the display so that kids can see it but can't touch it, can't grab it.
That's a good idea.
I actually lost 2 jars of Polo. I mean, Polos are the refreshment, that mint toffees.
We have them, Polos,
mint toffees, like Tic Tac and all that stuff.
I love a good Polo, Ronnie. Oh no, Ronnie!
Oh no, where's Ronnie?
What's?
Oh, here he is.
Oh, there you go, back.
Thank goodness.
Then. Wait, where's he gone?
Yeah.
All we heard, the last thing we heard was Polos
buffering going on.
We heard that you have 2 jars of Polos go missing.
Yeah, they have just taken it. Like there was a load shedding in the night, and they just took the chance. Okay, so Ronida is not here, so let's take the jar up and it's party time. It's party time. Let's go and eat all of them.
They're going to have some really minty breath, aren't they?
Really, really
Oh, I
making
love
sense.
that. Okay, so something else I thought just it'll be really interesting to hear what you guys think about this. And it's something else I was watching on Good Morning Britain today. So the Olympics in Japan, there's this big debate going on now whether is it safe to actually go ahead? Should the Olympics be being held in Japan this year, or should they be postponed because of COVID? And they did a sort of poll in Japan, and 70% of the country said that they don't want the Olympics because of the COVID situation. They don't feel it's safe. And they had someone on Good Morning Britain today. Is it Seb Coe? Seb Coe? Is that him? Who used to be a famous athlete?
That's about right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
He was on the other side of the coin saying, well, he says that the measures they've put in place there are so stringent, they're so advanced that it will be as safe as it possibly can be. And is it fair on the teams that have been training and been working towards this goal of the Olympics, which is obviously a huge thing? Is it fair to take that away from them when they've been training and working up to this? And I just wondered what your guys' views on that was. Do you think should we be sending our Team GB over to Japan during these times to be in the Olympics, or do you think that it's a bit silly? Georgia, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm right in there. I was about to put my hand up and be like, pick me. Yeah, so I actually don't think it's a good idea at all. Usually I'm quite like for these types of things, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know. But then with this, I'm thinking, A, no, it's not safe. B, someone's going to get sick. C, none of it's fair. I don't understand the argument that like, oh well, it's not fair on the athletes. Like that implies that it has been fair to anyone else, like what's happened, or that it's not just as devastating for everyone else who's had to, become redundant or change their jobs or look for new jobs or any of the rest of it.
Funeral because the restrictions wouldn't allow. People have missed out on so much.
Yeah, people have missed out on being there for their family members who have literally been on their deathbeds. Do you know what I mean? Like in hospitals and that. And so I think it's a ridiculous argument to be honest. So Mr.
Most
Seb Coe, if
definitely.
you're listening, I disagree with you, mate. So
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? What do you think? Should they be going ahead in Japan?
I agree with Georgia this time. I don't think it's a good idea.
No, I tend to agree. Beth, what are you thinking?
I can kind of see both sides of it, but at the same time, it's like, is there such a desperate need for the Olympics to go ahead that they can't wait until next year?
Yeah, well, actually, the point that Seb Coe's point was that he said generally athletes, they have one shot at the Olympics. He said, and if and these athletes that have been training so hard for it, we take this chance away from them, they may never get to another Olympics. That was his point. I mean, I agree with you guys. I don't think it should be going ahead. I don't think it's the right time to be taking a team over to Japan, regardless of the safety precautions and implementations they've got. It's just not the right time. And I just think it's completely what you said, Georgia. It's all very well to say, well, it's not fair on these athletes, but the whole world has had to forego so much.
Yes.
Things that are a lot worse. I mean, Ronnie, what do you think?
I think you're absolutely bang on point, Georgia, because if this is to continue, like you see the past things in Italy, Syria had to be cancelled, then NBA got cancelled, then in India, IPL got cancelled. I mean, I'm from Bengal and I root for KKR. Like, they are the Kolkata Knight Riders. They're the local team. And you won't believe they were having IPL. There was not a single soul in any of the stadiums. And then the worst of it, I think it was in the papers, in the Telegraph, and also in the local news that 22, I think, 22 or 23 cricketers got COVID. They didn't have any symptoms of COVID, but they got COVID while having the tournament. So, I mean, it is gonna be a worldwide disastrous thing. But on
Yeah.
second thoughts, Beth, you are right. Since we are getting so many bad news all over the world, so the world is in desperate need for some encouragement.
Mm.
Of course, there is a need for encouragement, but safety and enjoyment. You got safety in one hand, you got enjoyment in the other
Mm.
hand. How do you balance the two? There is a
Okay.
desperate, because in athletes,
Well, yeah.
What I
while
was going to say was that, sorry, Ronnie, I was going to say that the thing is with athletes though, and they are world level, Olympic level athletes. It's not like the Olympics is the only thing that they can do. Like they could join
of
any
course, yeah.
kind of sports
Any kind
team.
of activities,
Well,
any
Yeah,
kind
just
of
anything to do with
activities,
sport.
like
saying, just
fruitful
to play devil's
activities.
advocate, and it's not my point of view, but I just, but if we're saying that we now have to learn to live with this disease and this is the way our future is, so what do we cancel everything then? If
No,
Boris is saying to us, we now need to learn to live with this disease and we have all these procedures in places, we've got the vaccine rollout, which is doing
yeah,
amazing stuff, why shouldn't they go?
that's a fair view. That's a fair point. Me too. Because
Mm-hmm.
after you got the vaccines, then we must make sure that every single athlete has taken the vaccines. I mean, 2 doses, 1 dose, whatever is the course of it. You take those vaccines, you take the precautionary measures, and then you go out and play.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's the best we can hope for.
yeah.
Because after having the vaccines, God forbid, if even one person, even a single person gets COVID, unless at least they won't die. At least
Mm-hmm.
they won't die. They might have some problems, like they will be put into quarantine for 14 days, but on the positive side, they have the antidote for that.
Yeah.
They have got the antibiotics, or let me see, they are, yes, antigens. They are called
Mm-hmm.
antigens. So our bodies are physically prepared with already created antibodies for that antigen. So if external COVID comes into, gets registered in the body, then I think the body knows that this is not an alien object. I know this object. Let it come to me and I will
Mm-hmm.
handle it accordingly. The body is ready, already ready.
Yeah,
Like, what do we have in the vaccines? They are the antigens. They are
yeah,
basically antigens to create antibodies in our blood.
yeah.
So,
I guess,
I mean, yeah.
sorry, Ronnie. Yeah, I guess the thing
No, no.
is, perhaps, I mean, again, I was playing devil's advocate when I just made that comment there, and it's not my what I actually think. I think the trouble with this Olympics is so Boris is saying to us, we've got to now learn to live with this disease. But I guess that's all very well whilst we're in the UK and we know what our vaccine process has been, and we know what variants and whatnot. It's then mixing the different countries, I guess, isn't it? And then it's the travel aspect of it and the different variants that, although our vaccine works with what we've got, if someone brings back, and I guess that there brings the problem. Georgia, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say I also don't agree with the thing of like, oh well, we need to cancel everything, because like, for instance, I went to this this drive-through drag show a few weeks ago that I told everyone about, and basically you roll up in your car, so it's already safe because you're inside your own car, out into this field, and then there's a big stage, and then there's one person on the stage who performs, and then at the end of the night you go home, you don't leave your car. So I feel like there are like COVID safe ways of being able to have entertainment and to enjoy things. But I think a huge stadium with people from around the world all congregating in one place is just a recipe for disaster.
And I think therein lays the problem, isn't it? It's having those sort of numbers and those sort of mixtures of, I don't know. As far as I know, it's all still going ahead. When is it actually supposed to be? Soon? I don't know. No, I don't know either. I mean, I've watched all of this. I don't even know when it's even supposed to be. It's not very helpful. But anyway, I guess watch this space.
Isn't it usually in the summer? Because it's like the Summer Olympics, isn't it?
It's
And then you have the
Friday,
winter.
23rd of July.
Okay,
There we go,
23rd
yeah.
of July. Okay. So yeah, I guess they'll be making decisions soonish, really, won't they?
Yeah.
Right, Georgia, you had a couple of bits you wanted to speak about this morning.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned this to you guys last week, that on Friday I went to the counts. So, Ronnie, we had a local elections last week for the local sort of like councillors and stuff. And yeah, I went to go see all those votes be counted and to kind of like brush alongside the councillors and the different parties and stuff.
How was it?
It was, pardon?
How was it?
It was really good. Everyone was like, "You're going to be so bored. You're going to want to leave straight away. There's nothing to do." And I was there like, "Oh, there's something going on over here. Oh, look what's over here. Oh, they've got their own little cafe thing, and I can get a bottle of Coke, and it'll be great." And it was at Silverstone, which is the sort of local racetrack. So it was this like huge building next to the racetrack. So I spent most of my time genuinely on the balcony, just overlooking the racetrack, and it was like blue skies, and it was really sunny and hot, and I just had like a nice little drink, and I was just waiting for the counts to be done, and I was like, saying hello to people, and I was like, "Oh, you're right," and then saw that they were touring, and I was like, "Okay, goodbye." Yeah, so it was good.
Do they race cars or do they race horses?
They race cars.
Ah, great.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly. Yeah,
Otherwise,
I'm with you.
It would be derby day every day.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it was really exciting, and I had a lot of fun just being in that environment. And yeah, so the results of it was that out of the 93 seats that were available, I believe that 60, actually I'm going to check instead of just guessing. 66 out of 93 seats were Conservative in the end.
Wow.
And then the rest of them were sort of like Labour, Lib Dem, and like independents. So what I wanted to know, guys, was how you feel about those results. So Jasmin, how do you feel?
I think it's a bit disappointing. Yeah, just a bit disappointing, really. There wasn't a great turnout. Oh, I wonder who was waving then. It was Bianca. I was like, who's Ronnie waving at? There wasn't a great turnout. It wasn't the greatest of days, was it? Because do you remember we were talking about the weather and we wondered whether that would put people off. Yeah, I guess, my overall, to sum it up, will just be disappointing.
Right. What about you, Laurel? Oh, I think she might be frozen.
Oh, she's blinking.
You there, Laurel? Laurel?
Lauren?
There she is.
Okay. Well, we'll just skip. Okay, Beth, how do you feel about the results?
I feel like that's a really hard question to answer because no matter how you vote, I feel like most of the time your single vote isn't going to make that much of a difference. So I know who I voted for, so I can't say like how I feel about that situation because there's not a lot you can do.
I still think that we can have a response to it, though. I think, like for instance, for myself, I know that I'm really disappointed because I thought that after about a decade of really bad decisions that have been made by the Tory party, I was kind of hoping that we'd have a bit of a change in leadership.
I was shocked to see Labour lose the seats that they did because I felt exactly the same. I thought there'd be so many people, like I've mentioned before, I've not been big into politics, but this pandemic has made me become a bit more aware and a bit more wanting to get involved in making sure my vote is heard. But I would have thought that this last pandemic would have made people go, "Well, hold on a sec, what an absolute mess up," you know? And to see Labour losing seats and that really surprised me because I didn't foresee that. And the only thing I can think is that, although, in my opinion, Boris made an absolute cock-up of the past year in the pandemic and made so many errors and so many stupid mistakes, which cost so many lives, people have not forgotten that, but all they can is on the top of their mind at the moment is how great the vaccine rollout's going. And that's sort of been pushed aside because, wow, this vaccine rollout is doing so great. And I feel like it's been forgotten about a bit. And that's the only way I can think that what's happened has happened, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I mean, it's okay if you have like a sort of opposite view to me or to us. That is okay as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing of these tea and toast. We're not all going to sit here and all have exactly the same opinion. It's better when we don't, because it's boring if we all thought the same. And you know, what to make a democratic society, we need different people and different opinions, don't we? So yeah, I mean, yeah, we're never all going to agree on everything. There's going to be some things that we do, and some
are the best. Mixed views are the best, you know.
Absolutely.
To spice things up, you know, mixed views are the best. And I'm sorry to barge in here because until the elections were done in India, everything was going great. There was no lockdown whatsoever, mass gatherings, everything was just tip top, just going great. Everything was smooth. Every single shop was open. I mean, all kinds of provisions were given to us. And just the day after the election results came out, that is 2nd May, everything got closed. The shops are now open from 5 to 10:30 in the morning, and in the evening, those are open from 3 to like 7 or 7:30 in the evening. So this is the condition right now over here. And I don't want to, you know, bore everyone with my political views because those are irrelevant over there in UK, since this is totally another scenario over here. And also there has been quite some issues over here regarding health because the oxygen supply is dwindling over here in India. Plus there are two kinds of vaccines available here for COVID. One is the Covishield, and the other one is the Covaxin, or I think it is called Covax. Yeah, Covax. So Covishield is a better one. I don't think. I mean, India has preferably has a certain way to, you know, publicize some things. You know, like in everything they're gonna try to market it. Like
of course.
you just say this biscuit brand is better than the other one. You just compare between Britannia, and Britannia is from like what, before my birth, and you compare it with another. I mean, you get the gist. So there is always a comparison between this and that.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I mean, my
You
dad
know,
and I got registered for Covishield, but unfortunately those vaccines have gone finished. The stocks have finished, so I'm gonna get my shot probably next month because the health center, they don't have it right now.
Yeah, oh, that's a shame. Well, hopefully they will soon. I mean, over here in the UK, they are going great guns. You know, as much as it pains me to say, you have to give them that because I think we're on the 40 and unders now. I think are starting to come through. I mean, I had mine last week, and I'm 42. So I've had my first one. Yeah. Well, I was very poorly though, Ronnie. I was very ill. I had to have a day off work. I was so poorly, but it's worth it in the long run. But just going back to the politics side of things, Georgia, that you were talking about. My mum went to vote on, was it Thursday last week?
Yeah,
my mum was really, really annoyed. And when I spoke to her that evening, she was really annoyed because when she went to sort of do her vote, she wanted to vote Green and there was no Green candidates. So she just ended up, I think she said she spoilt her ballot because she didn't want to vote Conservative. She didn't want to vote Labour because she wasn't happy with them. And that shocked me because I thought they would have been agreeing.
Well, this is the issue. So there's so many things that go into an election. So I don't even know if I told you guys, but I was actually the electoral agent for the Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition. So I kind of had a bit of a behind the scenes kind of look to what was going on and all the rest of it. And yeah, so one of the things is that sometimes political parties that kind of lean to the left, if they know that another left-leaning party is going to do much, much better, sometimes they decide not to stand.
Okay.
Because they think, well, there's no point in standing a candidate because so-and-so is going to win.
Yeah.
And another thing is sometimes there's like, I wouldn't say like deals, but there's like political parties might say, you know, if you support our candidate in this area, we'll support your candidate in this area. So we'll kind of like encourage people to vote. So if you get us in on this place, we'll try and get you in there in this place. And thirdly, sometimes people just don't feel like they have the capacity to stand. I mean, standing as a politician, as a candidate, is so difficult because you've got to be, or at least a lot of the feeling is you've got to be spotless in terms of your past. So
yeah, you can't have
if you've got pictures of yourself drunk on Bridge Street at 3 a.m. Throwing one of your heels at someone's head, that could come back to haunt you.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
like throw it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'd all be out if that was the case. But yeah, so I think a lot of people feel like, well, because I don't have the perfect past, because I, you know, grew up in poverty, or because I have a difficult home life or anything like that, that they, you know, they'll get ripped apart. But I think what we need to do is we need to encourage people to talk to politicians and just to kind of see them as people who are as flawed as anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
How do you talk to them, Georgia? Because I don't know.
Well, there are many
we
ways.
all are human. We all are human.
Yeah, exactly. We are all human. So one of the ways is that you can try and get through to them on one of their social media pages. Most councillors have at least a Facebook page, if not Instagram, and you know, I've even seen some Snapchats. So yeah, it doesn't matter what platform you use, there will be someone. I think it was either Obama or Hillary Clinton that had a Snapchat, and my partner like followed it just because he was curious as to what they would possibly be sending out. Yeah, there's also an email, so there'll be like an official email which you can get from the West Northamptonshire Council website. And another good way is to get involved with a community group like Community Courtyard or, you know, the Yard, and things like that, because we will end up having those conversations with councillors and probably inviting them down to the Yard. So if you were ever like, look, I really need to talk to Danielle Stone, then maybe we can get that, you know, put that together.
Actually, whilst you're touching on that, it seems like a really appropriate time to sort of give people the heads up of what's coming up at the Yard and whatnot. So as you guys know, who's watching us, and everything from the pandemic has had to be moved online. So these tea and toast sessions have all been virtual because we haven't been able to meet up in the real world. But things are changing. So as you have seen start to happen over the past sort of 3-4 weeks, you've seen, well, today Laurel's in the Yard, aren't you, Laurel? You're down there this morning? I think there must be a real lag. Yeah, Laurel's at the Yard this morning. Yes. There'll be, you know, Georgia and I will be there tomorrow. We're all starting to get back into the actual building and start, you know, utilising this great building that we've got that we haven't been able to use very much because of this blooming pandemic. But with all the restrictions going ahead and Boris keeping the roadmaps to keep the set dates, from June, these tea and toast sessions are going to happen in real life. Now, that's not to say they're not going to be streamed, because we are still going to stream. But what that means is our doors at the Yard are going to be open. So every Tuesday to Friday, 10:30 till 12 is going to be tea and toast at the yard. So what that means is if you're in town and you fancy coming down 62 Gold Street, having a chat to me and Georgia, Laurel might be there. We might have Ronnie online talking to us.
Definitely.
Yeah, fancy a chat, something particularly you want to talk about, or you need some help with, or you just literally want to come and have a cup of tea and a slice of toast with us. Our doors are open, and we're going to be there every morning, 10:30 till 12. And we need to start spreading the word because I don't want to talk to just Georgia every morning. Sometimes she does my head in. So I want to talk to some of you lot. That's what I want. As much as I love
To
talking
the
to
face,
Georgia.
bam. To the face.
Yeah.
Bam.
Shot in the heart. Shot
I
in the
know.
heart.
Really. But yeah, we want to start getting some of you guys into the building, seeing what we've got going on there because there's so much going on. And from next week, we will start to be, we're going to have bits on social media. We are going to be flyering. We want to get as many people interested in our sessions as possible. We are going to have some theme sessions and more information to come on those, but things that are really important to people, whether it's money matters. You know, money matters to everybody. We all have money struggles and money worries. We can't get away from that, and probably more so with this pandemic we're going through. Housing, everyone, you know, there's so many problems with people with housing problems. We're going to be talking about that. We are going to have a day where parents, whether that be a step parent, a grandparent, a foster parent, if you, like me, are a parent and you want to come down and sit and have a chat and just go, do you know what? This is really hard. This job is really hard. Or you need some help going, right, I'm struggling to get my 3-year-old into a nursery. What do I do? We're going to be there to signpost you. And it's like we always say, we are not the experts, but what we are, we're that intermediary for you. We can help signpost you to the right organisation in Northampton because there's so many amazing organisations. And that's why we have lots of them come on and guest with us on the Tea and Toast. So you guys get to find out more about what they do. And that's what's coming up. It's going to be really exciting, June. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Georgia, have I missed anything? There's lots going on.
Yeah, there's so much going on. No, I don't think you have missed anything. We're gonna have like youth groups. We're gonna have like gaming stuff. I've heard something about an arcade machine, so that would be really exciting. Yeah, I've heard we're gonna get an arcade machine at the yard. So yeah, and also
That's
we'll
exciting.
be fighting
That's
over
really
you.
exciting. Please do get that. Please do get that. Please. I want some old gaming machines where you just either put the coin over here. It is putting the coin, but there I don't think so. You just pull the lever and then ting 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 ting. As they come up and you won ding 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 ding, and all the coins just come out like the jackpot machines and all that.
I want
and
definitely. I want that jackpot. But I
oh
mean,
my
like
God,
we start.
I just wish I was in the UK because. Like the way Jasmine and Georgia just said, I mean, you guys are privileged. You guys are privileged. You have so many support groups over there, so many social working groups over there. The most important thing, in my opinion, is that the bonding that happens, like people connecting either physically or they're connecting via online. The point of view is very different there. It's very nurturing and cultivating. Over here it's just about the psychological things, like if they are opening some NGOs, they're either, I don't want to discuss about it, but over there the situation, I think it's
We're very
much more
lucky.
healthier.
Yeah.
Yes, it's much
We
more
are very
healthier.
lucky. Yeah, absolutely. When we, in
Absolutely.
comparison to, Ronnie, some of the things I guess that you see and go through and experience, we are very, very lucky.
Yes.
I think, we have to be so mindful at the moment as well. I mean, despite us being in an incredibly lucky and fortunate positions, people are going through some hard times and some rough times. I think one of the things that we are going to really focus on, and it's going to be one of our themed sort of mornings, is mental health.
Yes.
At the moment, mental health has always been a problem, but we can't even begin to touch on how massive mental health is at the minute with this, the pandemic that we've just gone through. We haven't come out the other side yet, and from anyone, from little ones to elderly, mental health has really been affected. And that's something that, if you're sat at home struggling and not sure where to turn, something we're really going to focus on, and try and help put people in the right directions.
I can relate to that. I mean, physically and mentally, because I have a shop. I don't know whether the shop is going to be open tomorrow or it's going to stay closed tonight in the evening. And then I luckily have grocery stuff in my shop along with the stationery stuff and all that stuff, so that I know if the the administrative people, if they come knock at my door, I can at least say that there is grocery in my shop. They are the basic amenities. People are gonna need it, so I can use it. Oh, Zan is here. Hello.
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 Hey, Zan.
Hello.
You're a bit late to the party, mate.
I thought it was starting at 11:30. I got a little bit confused.
Right, that's all right. You all right, Zan?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. Ronnie's just telling us about. Sorry, carry on, Ronnie. Oh, do you want to say something, Laurel? Or was you just waving hello?
Lauren has been very quiet tonight.
I think our internet is really, really laggy. It's not working properly.
Yeah, I think it's taken quite a while to Oh, yeah, I think it's taken quite a while for her to get it. So yeah.
But one thing,
go on, Ronnie. Yeah.
Very positive that is happening in India. Very positive thing is that whenever there is a reunion happening, no one decides to talk about this virus, and everyone just not hugging. They are just keeping a safe distance between each other, but at least they are cordial enough. Like in my shop in the evenings, every evening I open like 6 in the evening. And then I open up the shop. Few people would come in, like they call my father grandpa, kindly give me this, kindly give me that. Some kids are gonna pop in and they're gonna say, "Oh, Ronida, how are you doing today? What are you doing? Please give me this, give me that." And they would just sit there in the pavement. There's a pavement there, and there's a sitting place over there. I had it constructed before all this situation. So they would just sit there and then have some toffees, and they would have some snacks. Yeah, some snacks or something like that. I would just say, "Hey, did you put your
She's still my
sanitizers?"
polos.
Just sanitize. And one thing, great thing that happened in India, that now everybody, even the most dirtiest peoples, I mean, not dirty in the sense dirty, I mean, those who were lazy, oh, I don't want to wash my hand, I don't want to do this, just
everyone's sanitizing.
pull the packets and then start eating, and then put the packet, not even in the dustbin, you just throw it out. They are just keeping everything clean. Spick and span, everybody. Like I used to wash hands like 6 or 7 times approx. Now and then I got teased that why are you doing this? Are you a girl or something? Like you are doing cooking and all that housework stuff, that you are washing your hands so many times. And now even those guys are washing hands more than me, like 12 or 13, 14 times they're washing. And now I am like saying, yeah, look what the cat dragged in. Now look what the cat dragged in, eh?
Absolutely.
Now tease me, I dare you. Now tease me.
I know.
You are washing and sanitizing and then washing clothes every single day with Savlon and all that stuff.
I know. I guess for some
Every
people,
single morning, it's the same scenario every single morning. And I mean, at least
I think it's probably the same over here, Ronnie. I think
cleaner.
I think there's probably some people who actually have started washing their hands and sanitizing. It's probably been a good thing, because why weren't they doing it before? Like being told to wash your hands. Why are you not washing your hands anyway?
Yeah, was that for show? No, now they have, because they have seen the real thing that they need to live. So that's how, at least, and I don't know whether you know this stuff or not. I mean, in 2020, 3rd June, my mom expired due to multiple internal injuries, multiple organ failure. So she
This
had
is
to
your
deal with
mum?
all. Yes,
Oh, I'm so
last year.
sorry.
Oh, I'm so
Last year.
sorry.
So because of this COVID thing, I don't
Yeah.
want to curse in here. I was so depressed for a whole year.
Not
1 year,
surprised.
whole year. Still today. My dad is 78 years old. I am 30 years old with a back broken.
Gosh.
I have the belt somewhere here. I don't wear it. It just hurts the back of the bone. So I'm just saying this, that when you are discussing mental health, it is really something, to encourage young people. If the young people are encouraged to
Yeah.
do their work properly, I think they can appreciate the things we have right now. I think I have a simple laptop over here, and most of my friends say, "Why, Ronnie, you are streaming? You should have a good PC rig." Even I went for a PC rig which will cost like more than ₹1 million for gaming and all that stuff. Then I talked to my dad. I said, "Dad, could you please help me with this? I want a good PC for my streaming and all that stuff. I have been saving some money." But he then said, "Listen, Ronnie, you should learn to appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
I mean, people next door, they don't even have a computer. Forget laptop, they don't have a computer." So, and then I just reflected and thought that at least I have this laptop.
Yeah, exactly.
I should be thankful to God that I am still healthy, and I have this laptop with me where I can do things, talk to my friends and all that stuff. I hope I'm not boring everyone. I
But I
don't
think,
think
I
Not at
mean,
I'm
all.
boring
I think
anyone,
what
I
you're
think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, I guess one thing, this pandemic has taught us all, isn't it? It's not about the material things that are important. It's about those connections, seeing family members, seeing friends, hugging people. And I guess for some people, be grateful for what you've got. It's taught us all a massive lesson about what's important in life, isn't it? And just quickly touching on the mental health side again, like we were saying, it's just so important. And we've got to encourage people to reach out and talk about it, because it's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's what I think we need to be teaching our youngsters and teaching the younger generation, that it's okay to have bad mental health. It's okay to talk about it. Because I think that's why a lot of perhaps adults struggle, because they haven't been given that opportunity to talk. And I guess, tea and toast and whatnot, we're not mental health professionals. What we are going to do, we are going to have some mental health actual professionals come in and be there and available on a morning to chat with you. If there's anyone thinking, I really want to speak to someone and I don't know who to speak to, that's what we're going to start to do. So June is looking really exciting, guys. And as from next week, you'll start to see bits and bobs on social media. If you are around in town and fancy popping down to see us, we're at 62 Gold Street. And yeah, things are starting to open up, and hopefully we're going to start to get a bit of normality back. Zan, I'm sorry, we're at the end of the session and you've just come along.
That's all right. That's my bad. I hadn't realised.
No problem. Maybe if you're around tomorrow, you could join us tomorrow, and we'll
Yeah.
get to get a bit more input from you. But
Yeah, that'll be all right.
Yes, definitely. I want to hear more from Lauren, and I want to hear more from Zen and Beth too, because
look, you've been told by Ronnie.
most of the time I pop in the stream, and like Beth is just chilling, just have a calm demeanor. She's just sitting laid back,
Drinking a cup
and
of
then
tea.
Georgia and Jasmine,
and
and
me.
if Bianca comes, Georgia and Jasmine, and if Bianca comes, those are the three who are talking. Bianca,
Oh, yes.
most of the time she comes in the chat, and
Yeah.
she just welcomes it. I mean, it is a great thing. It is a great thing. I don't want to lose this thing. Even if you got your yard opened, I still want this thing
We're
to
still gonna
continue. I
be-
mean, this is
Absolutely.
some
We're going to
atmosphere,
stream on. Yeah, we're still
I
going to
remember
stream.
we're in the
Yeah.
green gang. I don't know whether anyone at home has noticed
Yes.
this, but me, Ronnie, and Jasmine are all wearing green today. Ronnie actually changed. He wasn't wearing green,
Wait.
and then he was like, "1 second."
I need
Wait,
something
we still
green.
have got time. We still have got time. Let me get into proper greens. Wait.
Okay. Yeah. So we're in the green gang. So here to stay.
We
That's
had a
something
white
that will
t-shirt
never
on.
die. You know.
He had a white t-shirt on when we started, and then he saw that Georgia and I were in green, and then he said, "Wait, I'm going to get changed." So he got changed, and now it seems like on the side of his camera, he's getting changed into some. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
The color correction. The color correction. Oh no, this is a
I can
stupid
tell
camera.
it's green.
Stupid camera. This is totally green. I don't know why it is showing like aquamarine blue or something like
You
that.
just got like a wood there, waiting in case you want to change. Honestly, I love it.
Oh no.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, it's been absolutely amazing having you join us this morning. Thank you so much. You're going to come and join us again
pleasure is
tomorrow,
mine.
aren't you?
Yes.
No,
Most definitely.
It's been really, really great to have you, and it's nice to just add that different dynamic to the panel, which is great. Zan, thanks for coming along. We're going to chat more to you tomorrow. Sorry, it was just short and sweet, but
That's all right.
really looking forward to hearing some of your opinions on bits and bobs tomorrow. Laurel, thank you for coming this morning, lovely. It's been a bit hard with your internet, but hopefully we'll get that sorted, and we'll see you online very soon. And Beth, thank you again for being on our panel this morning. Georgia, a pleasure as always. This time tomorrow, fancy it?
Yeah, this time tomorrow sounds about good. Yeah,
she's like the princess of Persia. She's princess of Persia for me, princess.
For me?
Yes, for you, Georgia.
I need like a little crown, I think. No?
Yes, crown. And Beth, too, sorry, I'm being hard to Lauren and Beth, sorry. But no thanks.
Fine, Ronnie. I'm a princess in my own world, so it's fine.
Yes.
I'm Princess Jasmin, so none of you can beat me on that. I'm just going to have to go and see Aladdin. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, listen, have a great day. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning at 10:30 if you're around. If not, we'll see you all soon. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.